Judges 19. So there's a Levite man who's married to a woman that is essentially like for the streets, and she like leaves him for like 4 months and goes to live with her father, like a couple cities away. So the man is like, I'm about to go get my wife and appeal to her to come back. So the Levite man goes to the father's house and is like appealing to his wife, like, come back. So he convinces her, but the father is like, well, look, like you made a long journey, you know, stay a little bit, relax a little bit, eat a little bit. And so the man does. Now, after like 4 days, it's like, I gotta go. But then it's like, no, they're like at least refresh yourself, have breakfast, and then go, right? So I don't know. What's funny is about this story, like, I was like, what is happening with these meal times? You know, I mean, I guess it makes sense if you got sausage, you gotta like kill the pig at that point, right? Like maybe meal times and celebratory times took longer than what was in my head. But anyway, 7 days, I think. I want to say ultimately it was like 7 days. And the man is like, okay, look, I got to go. So, all right. They pack up and they're on their way back to the town. Now, where they're from is just like a small town. It's a very quiet place, right? So, it's like a journey away. Now, the servant and everybody was like, well, it's getting dark, as they was like going back to town to where they're from. And they were like, well, we could just like stay in one of these towns. But the Levite man was like, no, I'm gonna stay where we know where we're welcome, and with like other Israelites, with other tribes that we know. I'm not going to just stay in a place that is like foreign to us. So they're like, boom, okay. So they find another town that is where the Israelites are, and they go into town, but like nobody lets them in. And he's like, you know, I've got food for my servants, food for my donkeys, food for me and my concubine. Like, we're not gonna be a burden. We just need like a place to stay. This old man comes into town and sees them, and he tells them that, right? And the man is just like, okay, like, yeah, come in with me, but like don't stay in the center of the town, you know. So he's like, okay. Well, there's some men that come into town knowing that this old man's got a guest, and they knock on the door and they're like, bring out the man, like we want to lay with him, right? They want to basically rape him. So the old man is like, no, I got a daughter and he's got a concubine, like go ahead and take them, but don't like do this to my guest. So the man gives them the concubine and his daughter, and I guess they beat the concubine so bad and raped her so bad that she was to the point of death. She made it to the threshold, but by the time they opened the door for the next day to go, she was gone. The man, the Levite, was like, get up, but she was gone. So he takes her body, cuts it up into 12 pieces as a declaration of war, sends it to all the 12 tribes. And they're like, oh snap, like this hasn't been, like a heinous thing like this has not been done in so long. Like, what are we gonna do? So all of the tribes gather together. All of the tribes, they gather together. And they're like, what happened? And so the Levite man tells them what happened, right? Word for word, like, and they're like, well, what are we going to do? And they're like, well, we're going to go and march up against this town, and they're going to give us the men and the people who did this to my wife. So what's crazy is, okay, that's the story, right? I mean, there's more to it. More to it. So they go to God and they're like, shall we go? And God is like, yup. Because when they go into the town, who it said like, give us the people, they was ready to fight. They was like defending this thing that happened in their town. So they go to battle. And I want to say it was against the Benjamites, right? I hope I'm saying it right. The tribe of Benjamin. So the tribe of Benjamin beats them, and the other tribes go back up, because mind you, like, it was all the tribes against the tribe of Benjamin. Okay, so I want to say it was like some crazy, like 400,000 against the tribe of Benjamin in this town. Like, I hope I'm not wrong, but I want to say it was like no small battle, right? So the Benjamites, like, boom, beat them on the first battle. The other Israelites tribes, they go back up and they go like, God, like, oh my gosh, like, should we go back? Do we go back? And God was like, yep. So they go back, and the Benjamites beat them again. Okay, they go back up, and they're like, God, what's going on? Like, do we go back down and beat them? And God is like, yep. So 2 times in battle they beat them, and then the 3rd time the other Israelite tribes actually beat the tribe of Benjamin. But what's crazy is that this next battle, when they win, like, it's they ambush them with like different maneuvers, right? Like they have strategy in this particular fight. And they're constantly seeking God to be like, do we keep going? Do we, like, what do we do? And then it actually leaves the tribe to go into like running, right? Like running away. But the Benjaminites, the tribes of Israel, like, overtake them and defeat them. Now the people that were left, they made a vow. They were like, we're not going to allow our tribes to go and to marry into give our wives to the Benjamites. Like, we're done, right? But they felt sad because they were like, well, we don't want them to like not have heirs, and why should a tribe like be missing from us, right? So they go into other towns on Benjamin's behalf. Like, they literally like offer up like offerings to forgive them for their sin, because essentially, like, the town that this happened in was like, should have been a safe zone. It should have been a place where they had welcomed them in and they felt safe, because it was basically, they were all family, right? And so for the act to have happened in one of the cities, and for the tribe of Benjamin and the city to harbor them was like kind of wow, right? So they offered a sacrifice to forgive them of that, but they didn't want to like remove the vow, because they already gave a vow to be like, hey, we're not going to give you wives, but we don't want your tribe to go missing. So they did. There's more to this story too, because I want to say the way they decided how to do this was they had said who didn't come to the mitzvah, and whoever didn't come to the mitzvah, that was who they were gonna go to war with and take their wives and give them to the Benjamites, so that there wouldn't be anybody missing. And it's crazy because when I think back about this story, right, I think about the parallels of Judges 19, Judges 20, Judges 21, the parallels of Christ, and how we are married to Christ being the bridegroom, but we're constantly cheating. It gives Hosea and Gomer, right? Like, we're constantly cheating, constantly leaving God on these sabbaticals, but God is still going to war for us. He still loves us. He still is coming for us. And what's crazy is when you look back at this battle, I'm sure I didn't do it justice, y'all. It's a really, really good story. Judges 19, that's where the story starts. And I think about how this was over one woman and the heinous crimes that happened against her, and how God allowed the Benjamites 2 victories. And so by the 3rd, they were really boastful. They were like, oh, we gonna win. God God is delivering them in our hands. Like, they were like really boastful. And I thought about how in the end times, right, you got these people who feel they're so powerful. They've been living their life rich and famous and allowing heinous crimes and heinous people to live and encamp among them. And, you know, even if the ones who call them Christians and not saying nothing, not doing nothing about it or whatever, and they feeling real arrogant, real boastful. And God is like, stay tuned, because at the end you gonna be running, because I will fight for my one. And we see this parallel in story with Jesus saying, you know, I care about the one sheep, I care about the prodigal son, I care about the coin that I lost. Even though I have other money, I care about this. I care about the lost one. And here we go. We see the whole tribe of Israel rising up saying, you did what to who and where? You out your mind? You don't mess with us. That's what I constantly see, and I heard in this story. And of course, so I woke up with the song I Trusted God. And I heard, what's the song? You're Worth Fighting For. No eyes have seen, no ears have heard all you have in store for me, but nothing can separate me from your love. I'm worth fighting for. It's I forget who made the song. I posted it on my page, but that's what I woke up singing. And I said, how beautiful is this of a reminder of that? Yeah, even you, the one who thinks you've messed up so badly, you say, well, I keep falling away and I keep messing up and I keep and I'm not considered. But God, yeah, he loves you. He loves you so much, and he's going to war for you. He will go to war for you. He cut that girl. Let me stop. Anyway, that's it. That's all I got.